everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of definitely not Mr. Sandman's Let's Play of Pokemon Emerald. As I said last time, we caught a Pokemon who will be able to learn Cut. I had to take all of 4 steps after ending the last recording to find it, so it took no time at all.
Now we just have to go wake it up. Very rudely. Preferably with an old bell-style alarm clock. His name is Inigo Montoya, and we killed his father. Alright. Honestly, I want to argue. I can't argue.
So we'll be naming this Nincada Kitetsu III. Reference for any One Piece fan out there who might pick up on it. And if you don't feel bad. It's the name of one of the swords that Pirate Hunter Roronoa Zoro picks up throughout the series.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, while we're in the grass, when this battle is over, go into the Pokemon menu and try to use Cut.
Ah, I see what you want. Okay.
I want to see if that was in here, or
It was.
I'm mistaken.
It was here. Yeah, if you use Cut from the menu, while you're standing in the grass, it'll clear the field around you.
So, that should save us some time later. We don't need to do that right now. We're trying to level up.
I don't intend to do it anyway. Yeah, it's not a battle I'm gonna go into. I am no an idiot.
Well, I don't know about that.
You am being rude, sir.
I am do speak truth.
The truth do be pain gain.
Alright, I'm done with that. The Potato Man. He seeks the truth.
No one takes his wife's mouth but him.
I'm sorry, what?
Toy Story, Mr. Potato Head. That's a line whenever someone takes her mouth off.
Forgot about that. Just forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I would too. If I could. You guys might notice, by hitting select, I'm able to rearrange the moves on the move screen, so I'm putting the move I'm most likely to go to in the first slot.
Well, Fujian is kind of annoying. We can't one-shot it. Well, okay, I take that back. We'll probably be able to one-shot it, just not with a super effective move. Here we go. Honestly, if it weren't for the number of grass-type Pokemon this early on, Leech Seed would be a lot more useful.
That being said, we do have Harvey Face whenever we have problems with grass types early on.
That's very fair.
Ooh. Instead of Taillow, we could swap it out for a Swablu down the line.
That we could. That would give us 3 planned dragons, which I wouldn't even be against. At this point, Dragon had 2 weaknesses, and it was one of them.
Which in turn means our biggest threat in the game would become Elite Four member Drake, but we would also have all 3 dragons super effective on him as well.
Now, the question then becomes, how much time are we willing to spend getting these dragons? Trapinch should be pretty easy. It's practically the only thing that shows up in the desert.
Bagon's very easy. There's one room in the cave where only it spawns.
Swablu's the issue.
Swablu still isn't even quite that hard.
I suppose that's fair. Now then. And there's the second one. And now we teach them what it means to actually know what you're doing.
Yep. Using the TM or HM cut to cut down some of these trees, we have a few areas we can go explore before moving on to the story.
Ooh, a rose and a marrow. The marrow will go down very quickly.
The Ralts might even go down faster. Oh!
One away.
The Ralts is going down faster though.
Well, I guess Marrow evolving into a Zumaro, which is a special tank, kind of makes sense.
Okay, so instead, I will let Shroomish take that out. And I will use Tackle on the Marrow.
Didn't do nearly as much as I thought it was going to.
I didn't expect it to do much, but I figured we might as well switch it up. If it's going to come out to roughly the same effect.
Fair.
In defeating the Ralts, Shroomish and Bubbleman both gained a new level.
That new level does mean that they don't gain one from the second Pokemon, but with 17 and 13, they're going pretty strong so far. Ah, berries. If only we could grow some for ourselves.
Yeah, I'm going to ignore those for now, since there's not much we can do with the feature.
I don't know, the orange berries might have been useful.
Eh. I tend to avoid healing items. Mainly because if I get them, I like to save them for the Elite Four.
That's fair. The Great Ball! So he's given us
never
two
given
Great
us
Balls.
one of those before.
He's given us two of them now.
Though the
And
second time, we also qualify to meet his company's president now.
now let's use this Great Ball to go catch another Shroomish.
We'll call it Toomish.
You know, we're 10 years old and meeting the president of a major company.
Mr. Stone. Despite being the president, he just looks like a shady old man.
Don't all presidents?
Now, the researcher wants me to deliver the goods we got to Slateport to a guy named Stern. However, the president here also wants us to drop something off to someone named Steven in the town of Dewford. And for our services, he gives us a Pokenav, which is a Pokemon Navigator. It has a map of the entire region. He also tells us about sinister criminals, Magma and Aqua. And he heals us before we set off.
Because we definitely couldn't do that literally right downstairs and outside the building. Being said, it does save us a small amount of time. Ah, checking garbage cans. I know that sounds weird, but in old games, you could sometimes find some useful items in garbage cans. Not that one, though.
And then the important one here, if I remember correctly. Yes, this man will eventually be able to resurrect Pokemon from a fossil if we find one to bring him. And conveniently, I happen to know the locations of said fossils.
Being said, which fossil are we gonna go for?
Unsure. Maybe someone in the comments will tell us what they suggest by the time we reach it. Now we have the match call feature on our PokéNav also. Basically, it's a phone.
It allows us to call people we've faced before for rematches.
And he's looking down on us from his office. How nice.
Sounds like a president. Now then.
Before going on, let's explore the area straight to the north of the city, because I don't believe I've walked up here yet.
I don't believe so. And also, before we move on, I vote that we visit the shop. If I can talk. Visit the shop and either grab some supplies to handle such things as poisoning, or even more Pokeballs.
I'm down to stock up on Pokeballs.
There's a Super Potion, first one of the game.
Now, if we had the ability to do anything with this water here, there might be a little more to explore. However, we do not.
Yet.
And past that ledge, which is what these brown things are, it's hard to tell unless you know what you're looking at. But they are ledges that you can only jump down. Can't go back up.
Which is very unfortunate since they seem to be waist high.
However, having explored that small area, we can now move on to... Yeah. Marsh Wahlberg.
I don't think so, Tom.
Let's not buy 66 of those. Let's settle for 10. A few times over. You're gonna buy 3 sets of 10. If you're wondering why I'm buying them in 10, it's because for every 10 Pokeballs you buy, you get 1 free Premier Ball.
But you have to buy them separately, or you just get 1.
Indeed. Which is why I split that into 3 transactions.
3 free Pokeballs.
Just like if you try to use coupons at a restaurant in real life. Just make it 3 orders.
Don't go telling my secrets now.
Well, now that I have a phone, May immediately decides the very first thing I should do with it is take her number. Guess her dad's rubbing off on her. Oh, and she tells us about this creepy old guy she saw in the woods. And now she wants to battle.
Ah, yes. Creepy old guys, phone numbers, fighting each other. Just like any regular relationship, right?
Can you still see that?
Yeah.
Okay. It was hurting my wrist a little, keeping it where it was. So I had to adjust the screen, so I needed to make sure Eric could see everyone. I can see! You can see clearly now the screen is slightly to the left, right, whatever direction that is.
Turned more to the right.
Well, instead of being an idiot, I'm going to switch to someone who doesn't have a weakness to Wingull.
You know, not being an idiot sounds like a great idea. And that's unfortunate.
Indeed it is. When you're confused, you have a chance of your attack going normally. However, there's also the chance that instead of attacking, your Pokemon will hurt itself. Confusion will go away after a couple turns, or at the end of the battle, or when you switch the Pokemon out.
The issue, however, is your Pokemon not fainting before you happen to manage one of those.
However, now we have Harvey Pace at level 14 facing a Trico. There's a case of it hurting itself.
Which is very unfortunate.
However, I don't want to switch Harvey Face out because he is the most effective Pokemon we have for facing Trico, who is just shy of evolving. That is very unfortunate.
Incredibly unfortunate. Hopefully the quick attack will go through.
I'm very sure that we're both at 1 HP right now.
And that changed.
However, now I can send Shroomish out to get some experience instead. Oh, theoretically, at least.
Hopefully. Yes.
Now,
Yeah,
Shroomish
that's
is also
Shroomish
level 14.
So much time saved by Mr. Stone up there in that tower.
Yes, I know, right? There's no way to heal on the way to anywhere we were going.
Definitely not. I think the creepy old guy just wanted us to take a nap in his office.
Just want a chance to fondle our balls.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm glad you did.
Pokeballs, that is.
Now then, with Cut, there's a place down to south of this bridge that we can get into.
Now we have an X accuracy, an item you will not see me use once. The X items, you can use them in the course of battle to raise a corresponding stat. However, with the turn you take to use that, your opponent's going to be attacking you, which in turn is why I do not like those items.
Yeah, they're kind of not very useful.
However, I believe we may be getting an item for our buddy Shroomish to hold quite soon. Not that soon. I just had a feeling there was one there. There we go!
Miracle Seed.
When held, it boosts the power of a grass-type move that the user uses, making it the perfect item for the only grass-type Pokemon we have.
You know, the only thing that might be better than that would be a Big Root. Because Absorb is pretty much the only thing we use. Big Root being an item that increases the power of draining moves such as Absorb and Leech Seed.
Will you do me a favor and see at what level Shroomish and Taillow evolve, so we don't get blindsided?
I can do that. Maybe, hopefully.
Meanwhile, I'll continue exploring this little area and find another X item, the X Attack. It raises the physical attack stat.
Ooh, interesting thing that I've found immediately. The EV yield for defeating a Shroomish is 1 HP. So, defeating Shroomish in battle raises your HP stat slightly.
And now, with that little shortcut, we managed to skip through most of the forest, while also picking up a couple items. And now we've made it back to the house of one Mr. Briny, who is chasing Wingull around a table. However, if we talk to him, he tells us that he owes us so much, and we mentioned we have to go to some places we can't reach from here. So he offers to give us a ride. A ride through the ocean!
Way too much water. Level 23 is when Shroomish evolves.
Oh, I'm receiving a phone call, and so we have to stop the entire boat. Oh, it's from my dad. Oh, Sandman, where are you now? It sounds windy wherever you are. I just heard from Devin and Mr. Stone about your Pokénap, so I decided to give you a call. So, you told him, hey, I'm this person's dad. He's like, oh, I've met this person. Here's their phone number with no confidentiality at all.
Defeating a Taillow rewards 1 speed EV.
And now, after the arduous journey through too much water, we have made it to Dewford Town. There are a few interesting things in Dewford Town. However, First and foremost, if you talk to this fisherman right here and tell him that yes, you like to fish, he will give you the Old Rod, which gives us our first opportunity to get a water-type Pokemon if we had not picked Mudkip.
Tailo evolves into Swellow at level 22, so 22 and 23.
Nice. So that shouldn't be too terribly far off. Now,
It should be very close.
since we've arrived in a new town, we will take this moment to heal up our team.
And now that that's done, I believe there's a cave to explore.
Yes, there is. Here will be the location of our second gym battle, but I do not believe it's mandatory yet, though it is encouraged to do that before moving on. Because once you get inside the cave, it will be difficult to explore. I don't mean to keep talking to him. It'll be difficult to explore if you don't have access to your second HM, which you'll get for walking into the cave. So, let's battle the trainers and then you'll see what I mean.
I just wish our Tailo could be a little bit stronger for this fight.
But he gets to work through the gym trainers first, so it should all work out. Tentacool, being a water type but also a poison type, means that he has an advantage that he can pull against Shroomish, and that grass type moves are not super effective against him as they would be other water types. So, we'll switch to Harvey Pace and see if we have any better luck. Poison Sting, by the way, is one of the most frustrating moves in the entire Pokemon franchise, because many of the Pokemon you will find in common situations, such as Zubat and Tentacool, are going to be firing at you constantly, meaning you are going to get poisoned a lot. However, that can be overcome with items like a Full Heal, Forest Store, Antidote, or Pekka Berry.
I believe we grabbed some Pekka Berries earlier on.
Let us see. Yes, we did.
4 of them.
So by feeding that Pekka Berry, Harvey Pace's poisoning goes away, and we can go on as if nothing happened.
He's barely missing any health, so we're fine.
Now, another trainer who enjoys using his Magikarp. For some reason. Unknown to me.
Definitely not a cruel ploy.
I think this is just a Magikarp salesman that we angered by looking at him wrong.
You know, I can't even disagree with that. We do look at people wrong a lot. I look with my eyes.
I look with the sound of my voice.
You're a bat?
Ah! There, I got a pretty good look at you.
Oh no.
Well, given that it's another Tentacool, even at a lower level, I'm going to switch to Tailo and
Immediately become confused.
Another move shared by Tentacool and Zubat, Supersonic, which confuses your Pokemon immediately.
And is very, very annoying.
However, Harvey seems to have overcome it and the Tentacool at the same time.
Now then, this fisherman has one more Magikarp. Wonderful.
So let's put that Miracle Seed back to use by powering up our Absorb.
At some point, we need to get our Kitetsu III a little more training.
I'm not sure if I'm going to train him or not. I dislike training Pokemon other than the 6 core team members because of the amount of time it takes. And Kitetsu III, using him would limit our ability to pick up Swablu, Bagon, and Trapinch over the rest of the game.
That is fair.
So I have him there mainly to use Cut Forest for now, but not so much for battling. Bug-type Pokemon weren't incredibly useful as of the 3rd generation.
I would argue Bug-type Pokemon still aren't that useful.
They're at least better.
They're better. They're not great.
Yeah, so by talking to this hiker when you enter the cave, he warns you that it gets dark ahead, and gives you HM5 Flash, because everyone in this world immediately thinks that that's what 10-year-olds need in their life.
Not a flashlight. An HM.
Hidden Maniac. Flashing us right off the bat.
Poor unfortunate souls.
However,
They were wasted on these people.
now that we have Flash, we need to see if we have anyone who can actually learn it.
Most grass types can learn Flash, I believe. Most.
Kitetsu can also learn it, which is much more convenient, because that means we don't have to replace a move from our Shroomish. Now, for the upcoming battles, we are most likely going to be using Harvey Face. So I'm going to go ahead and switch him out, and we're going to enter the gym.
To hopefully get him a few levels.
As you can see, the gym is also very dark. If you talk to him here, he warns you that the gym leader here uses fighting type Pokemon, and that normal type Pokemon are not very effective against them. However, psychic types and flying types are very useful.
And seeing as Harvey Face is indeed a flying type, we should have the advantage for most of this.
Now,
So long as we can keep Harvey Face alive.
Meditite here is both a psychic type and a fighting type. So,
Never mind. So never mind.
I was going to say, so using Pokemon like Poochyena, if you don't have a flying type, are still helpful. Now, when you defeat his gym trainers, you get a little more light. So while they are optional if you know your way around, you can still be helpful to face them, and especially if you don't know your way around, it makes it much easier to see what you're doing.
Now in time for the double battle of the gym.
I could be wrong, but I do believe that if you exit the gym, the light resets though.
I'm not entirely sure.
I don't want to test it,
I don't either.
but I believe I remember that being the case.
There goes Meditite. And Machop will hopefully follow quickly.
I expect Machop to survive the first hit, but he shouldn't survive the next turn. That being said, both Harvey Face and Shroomish have now made it to level 15, which is quite helpful. Now, by throwing a wing attack,
Machop goes down. Just as easily as both of the Meditites before him.
indeed. And more importantly, since we beat 2 more gym trainers, we get a lot more light. Let's see, we face that one. There's nothing there. There's another gym trainer. It's been a very long time since I played Pokemon Emerald, so I can't quite remember the layout of this gym, but I do intend to face all the gym trainers regardless.
Brawly, while not all that intimidating for us, especially with Harvey Face leading the charge, we would prefer to save him until last, just because facing his trainers gives us a little more time to train Harvey Face.
And while he may not quite evolve by the end of this gym, he will have made significant progress towards it.
He's already gained 2 levels since entering the gym.
Makuhita, another new fighting type in the Hoenn region. He is strictly fighting, despite being considered a counterpart to the psychic fighting Meditite, who would have a type advantage over him.
Makuhita's entire thing is that once it evolves, it gets a very, very powerful move. Belly Drum.
He also functions as Gym Leader Brawly's signature Pokemon. Well, there's Brawly. However, I'm not going to face him quite yet.
Belly Drum was an especially scary move at the point in time when this game came out, because the user gave up half of its maximum health in order to max out its attack power, which means that it would exactly quadruple the amount of damage it output by giving up half of its health. And with most Pokemon being able to learn the move Rest, that health came right back immediately.
Especially if it held a Chesto Berry.
Yeah. Back in the day, Belly Drum was a serious problem. Now, not so much. That seems to be all the trainers.
Yep, now that we have more light, I wanted to check out some of these earlier areas one last time, but that seems to be all. So now we can use this large bubble of light to go face Brawly, a man who was so non-bright that his gym was cast in darkness. Despite the fact that as of now there had never been a Dark-type gym. A trend sadly broken in the Galar region.
Sadly broken, maybe. Upsettingly so, not very. Piers is a very interesting trainer.
True, but I don't quite feel that he conveys the weight of a gym leader. Plus, I really enjoyed the fact that there was no Dark-type gym.
Personal preferences. In Meditite, we've seen plenty go down so far.
As you can see, Brawly isn't much trouble. Tightening its focus there means Meditite is preparing to use the move Focus Punch. It will start by tightening its focus, but then if it gets hit between doing that and launching the attack Focus Punch, it loses the ability to use the attack that turn.
Very powerful move, very easy to stop. Brawly, using all of his super potions on the Meditite instead of saving them for his signature Pokemon, might not be the best idea on his part.
And he keeps trying to use Focus Punch when he's not healing,
Very much not a good idea on his part.
removing any threat that Harvey Face might have had to deal with from the Meditite.
There's Makuhita.
Now moving on to his signature Makuhita, level 19, his strongest Pokemon.
Still slower than Harvey Face, which makes sense when you look at Makuhita in general. Bulk up, raising its stats.
Yep, very bulky. It explains why he's about to drop like a rock.
And a berry to restore health.
Citrus berry, so quite a bit of health. And since his defense is up, he does take less damage from hits, and I'm actually shocked he managed to take Harvey Face down in one hit like that, though. Rather than play
Very
around
surprised.
with Shroomish, I'm going to jump straight to Bubble Man and hope that he can seal the deal.
Reversal. Dealing damage to us based on the amount of damage dealt to himself.
However, that marks the end of Maku Face.
I'm upset that Harvey Face couldn't get the experience for that, but
He did get the rest of the gym.
he did get the rest of the gym. He proved himself incredibly useful here.
Now that we've beaten Brawly, the rest of the lights turn on.
we get Badge 2 and the ability to use HM5 Flash outside of battle.
Also, Pokemon up to level 30, even obtained in trades, will obey us. Otherwise, Pokemon in trades don't tend to obey you until you have the corresponding battle.
We got TM8, Bulk Up.
And we got Brawly's phone number. And now that we have the ability to use Flash, we can leave the gym, heal up, and call that an episode. So, everyone, I hope you've been enjoying. If you want to see more, feel free to hit the subscribe button so you get notifications. Stay safe, and have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye!